Hello everyone! While we are all eagerly awaiting the release of the third episode of Glitch Productions' Amazing Digital Circus, I suggest you watch another clip about the second episode. We haven't talked about the beginning of the second episode yet. At the start, we saw the episode about POMNI'S dream. I've said in my previous videos that nothing is random in the digital circus, so click subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Sit back comfortably. It's going to be interesting as always, and here we go. So the second episode of Digital Circus, Candy Carrier Chaos, begins with us seeing Pomni sleeping and dreaming. When we see this episode, we remember how in the pilot Ragatha told Pomni that the characters in the digital circus don't sleep, and they don't need sleep. But now Pomni has also become a participant or character in the digital circus, as has Ragatha and others. But in doing so, we see her sleeping. You know, when a people sleep, they may or may not dream, or they may wake up and not remember whether there was a dream or not. And if you didn't have a clock, and outside your window the darkness of night didn't change to the morning dawn, you would sometimes have a hard time telling how long you actually slept. 1 minute? 1 hour? 4 hours or 8 hours? In a digital circus, there are no clocks, no windows, and no sunshine. Maybe the characters in the digital circus are sleeping, but they don't realize it because they're not dreaming. Maybe they just shut down for a while, and so they think they are not sleeping. But when you've had a lot of experiences during the day, it's reflected in your dreaming. Pomni had a very hard day full of a lot of new impressions and experiences. She was very tired and very much worried about what had happened to her. And at the end of the day, she couldn't just switch off, and so she had a dream. In the dream, Pomni saw an abstraction like Kaufmos. She saw Kane. Perhaps therein lay the secret to getting into the digital circus. Kane gave her a new name and told her there was no way out of the circus. She saw JAX and Ragatha. She spent more time with these characters, and Pomni's main impressions of her first day at the circus are related to them. In the dream, Pomni flew into some black hole, and it turned out to be a cellar. And this is another strong impression of Pomni from the first day at the circus. And from this nightmare, she woke up terrified. But there was nothing unusual about it. When you're tired during the day, you can have nightmares. But then, why were we shown this scene? Maybe to make us realize how tired Pomni was on her first day at the circus. But I've said before that nothing in the digital circus is random. Or maybe there's some kind of clue in this episode. The first thing we saw was that Pomni is very afraid of being abstracted like Kaufmo. In her dream, she saw her left arm start to abstract, and this made Pomni fearful and terrified. She called for Kane's help just as she had called for Kane to help Ragatha. But as in the case of Ragatha, Kane did not come to the rescue. Also, as Pomni was slowly falling into the horrible black hole of the cellar, she saw Kane, and he said, "Looks like our new friend's already abstracted." I think Pomni now no longer believes in Kane's help. Also in her dream, she saw JAX and Ragatha. JAX laughingly said, "Well, I guess we're not all cut out for it," and Ragatha added, "I don't even remember her name, honestly." Pomni probably dreamed about this scene because after her first day at the digital circus, Pomni didn't trust JAX and Ragatha. She didn't know what to expect from them yet. She didn't know if she could trust them yet. And that's what happened. In the second episode during the truck chase, the first thing JAX did was throw Pomni out of the truck. As you can see, her expectations were met. How can you trust a man like that? How can you organize an escape from the circus with him? And what if at the last moment, JAX runs away himself and leaves Pomni at the circus just as he threw her out of the truck? But Pomni realized that she could not find a way out of the circus alone and needed a friend. That's probably why she offered her friendship to Gummigoo. But Kane ruined her plans by destroying Gummigoo. And so, at the end of the second episode, we saw Pomni suddenly remember the second part of her nightmare. Once again, we saw Pomni slowly falling into the black hole of the cellar, and at that moment her hand was grabbed by other hands. And if you watch this moment again carefully, you will see 4 hands. 4 hands at once grabbed the hand of Pomni, falling into the black abyss. They were the hands of Ragatha, Zubal, Gangle, and Kinger. And after that, we see the happy smile on Pomni's face. She realized where she could find her friends. She realized she couldn't find a way out on her own. And she realized who she could rely on. But they don't believe in getting out of the circus. And they don't know if they'll want to trust Pomni yet. Maybe each of them has a little hope of getting out. Perhaps each of them has some idea how to find a way out. But they're all silent. They don't know who they can trust in the digital circus. They are afraid of becoming abstracted like Kaufmo, so Pomni has to try hard to make friends with them. She needs to do something so that they have mutual trust. But we haven't seen Jax's hand. Apparently Pomni doesn't trust Jax. Maybe Jax is capable of becoming Pomni's friend, but that's unlikely right now. At least Pomni doesn't believe it. Back in Pomni's dream, we saw the eyes of abstracted characters. They were looking at Pomni through windows in the stone wall. It was as if they were watching Pomni. Maybe they are waiting for her help. But we'll talk about that another time. Thank you for watching. Write in the comments of the video what you think about it and keep watching my channel. Don't forget to click subscribe to channel and put a like. And wait for my reviews of the 3rd episode on my channel. As always, it will be interesting and mind-blowing. Take care of yourselves and sweet dreams.